I didn't really want to make this video, but I think there's a lot of things to talk about. Sorry for no upload last week. I was busy with my local club making content. My local club is San Diego FC, and I just been so checked out of Milan, especially in these last couple of days and these last couple of weeks, especially with all the hype that's going on here in San Diego with the team. So if you guys want to check out what I'm doing, go on Instagram and look up SDFC Bros. I'll have it linked in the description below, and you can also see it here. We're doing a lot of cool stuff with the club and kind of with the fans and everything like that. So if you guys want to check out what we're doing, make sure you guys check us out in the link in the description below. So let's just get into it. I didn't want to talk about all these losses so much, but we'll briefly just talk about them. And versus Torino, I think we were all hoping for a reaction in this team, and in so many matches it just seems like we beat ourselves in these types of situations. Just look at that first Torino goal, lack of communication, and it's another Mike Maignan mistake. And in the second goal too, lack of concentration, and Torino capitalized, and it happened so quick as well. After we equalized, there's just no discipline in this team, and without Kyle Walker, this defense has the attention span of a goldfish, never able to truly lock in on decisive moments in a match. And with Milan being in the news for quite literally everything, it just makes the tension in the locker room way worse, especially on the training ground, and it disrupts the whole environment in the club itself. And things are going on with Conceição, how he's not the right manager and how he's already on the hot seat. And news outlets are saying that there's going to be a mass exodus of players leaving this summer. And fake headlines on top of that in the news is ridiculous, especially with the management saying absolutely nothing. And yeah, they made that whole statement, with Christian Pulisic on Twitter and everything like that, but you kind of look at it, whereas it's like no one's taking accountability. No one's, having a video like in front of the press saying stuff. And Maldini would never let the media take advantage of Milan and do exactly what they're doing. He would come out so many times addressing certain issues and headlines that are concerned to the fan base and the media, so the fire doesn't spread. And that leads us kind of into the Bolognia game, a must-win game to keep us at least somewhat in the top four race, or at least just in the conversation. And we bottle it. We came out in the first half okay, I guess, and obviously that Rafa goal was nice, but you ask questions about so many players in this team. João Felix is clearly not needed, one of the most useless purchases I feel like in the last couple years for Milan, and he just feels like he's in the way of so many players, and he's done absolutely niche in any of these games that he's featured in. Sure, he got that goal versus Roma, but at the end of the day, he clearly hinders this team in all aspects of the game. Teo Hernandez as well drops another underwhelming performance, and the more and more these performances kind of go on, it's more and more likely that he is probably going to be gone as the season goes on. And for me, Teo should nowhere be near the starting team, and it should be Pavlovic and Gabbia back there, which Gabbia was one of our best center backs this season, and now he can't even get 1 minute in this back line. And whether or not you think those Bologna goals should have counted for either the handball that allegedly happened or when the ball went out of bounds for that one, I think, free kick or something like that, it doesn't deny the fact that this team is not only in shambles on the pitch, but it's also in shambles off the pitch as well. And there's been so many rumors of Conceição getting sacked early on because of poor results, and there have already been so many names that are being mentioned to take over, like Maurizio Sarri, De Zerbi, and even Cesc Fabregas has been in the news as well to take over the job. Gasperini, who's been hinting at leaving Atalanta at the end of the season, and Antonio Conte being linked with a move away from Napoli, might be a potential suitor to be on the bench for Milan next season. But even then, we could get the best coaches in the world, but until we get this whole management sorted out, we will not be a serious team. And with no solid sporting director, no proper project, and no vision for the future of this club, how do we expect to achieve our goals throughout the season when all we say in press conferences, oh, we could have done better, or our objective is to win and get top four, where there's no accountability anywhere in this team and what's being produced on the pitch, and even what happens up in the offices in Casa Milan. And to kind of put my own little personal twist into it and my experience with a brand new club like San Diego FC, whereas it's like we have a proper outline of what this club wants to do. There's a proper vision, there's a proper project, and there's a proper message on what this team is supposed to bring on and off the pitch. And in one of the kind of locker room pre-game talks, where when we played our first game versus LA Galaxy, which to kind of put into perspective in Italian football is kind of like the Juventus of America, right? Where they have the most championships and so on and so forth. So we're playing away to LA Galaxy, San Diego. And in the pregame locker room talk, our captain, he says, they're here to celebrate a trophy, but we're here to make history. Our first ever game, and we beat LA Galaxy 2-0 away from home. And this was their first home loss since 2023. So it's like you have a proper outline of what a club is supposed to do. And it's clear that San Diego FC's kind of goal and message is to play for the city. And the fact that, a club who got created a couple months ago already has this notion and idea of what it means to play for the city. And these lot in Milan have zero clue about what's going on in the offices and on the players. And I'm very disappointed in some of these players where it's like they know what it means to play for Milan. They know what winning a championship feels like. And no one's taking accountability of that either. So today, the Curva Sud came out and they made a big statement about loads of things, and we'll break it down. So what I did was I asked ChatGPT about what this whole kind of text means and everything like that. So this is what a robot said about the current situation in Milan and what the Curva Suds said. So it said, the text expresses the frustration with AC Milan's ownership and management, stating that this season is already failing by early March with only 2 Coppa Italia derbies left to salvage the pride. It criticizes the ownership, particularly Gary Cardinale, for being absent and making poor decisions, ignoring the fans' needs and creating a toxic environment, and the lack of planning and ineffective leadership, including collaborators known for ridiculous behavior, have left the club in disarray, prompting for calls for significant changes. And it goes on to say that in the next paragraph, that is a passionate critique directed at management and players of the club AC Milan, given to references to the most glorious club in Italy and the Milan spirit. It highlights the dissatisfaction with the current state of the team, blaming the coach for not only changing the team's approach and deepening internal divisions, and players for their lack of effort and poor performances in matches, for example, the Dinamo Zagreb game, the Feyenoord game, and the Bolognia game that happened a couple days ago. The fans expressed their frustration with the players and attitudes, suggesting many are unworthy of representing the club, while management is criticized for being complicit and absent. And in the last kind of paragraph, it says that tomorrow in the Lazio game, the fans will leave the game at the 15th minute as a protest, leaving the team to face the consequences alone. If there are no significant improvements in performance and attitude, it calls for a deep corporate reset at the end of the season, criticizing the American model of management as a failure. And fans demand a strong leadership changes, important decisions, and structural reforms led by football experts to rebuild the club and restore former glory, accusing the current leadership of annihilating the team spirit and the Milan spirit. And the Curva Sud is 100% right. These guys are the voice of the fans, and they know the club more than anybody, more than any CEO, any management guy upstairs. And this management is clearly neglecting the fans. And there needs to be people who not only know football, but who know Italian football culture, who know Milan, and who are also just respected in the space itself. And the fact that I put this in ChatGPT and it spit this out for me, and a bot can get the idea of what's happening in Milan, and this management can't even understand, is quite embarrassing, to be completely honest. So where does this leave us now? We're in 8th place. We play Lazio tomorrow. And in the San Siro, you already know it's going to be a toxic one, right? But this is a game where the players and the staff have to prove themselves. And if they can't get a win here, then our season's over. Kiss top 4 goodbye. Kiss even European football goodbye. Because at this point, we can finish even lower than what we are now. We're only 1 point behind Roma, who are in 9th place, right? We're in 8th place. They're in 9th. I started following Milan more in depth, when we won the Scudetto back in 2011. And this is by far one of the worst seasons I've ever watched since probably 2015 when we finished 10th. And we went on into that banter era, and there's loads of mediocrity, as many of you already know. But as of right now, even when the season isn't over, this is the worst season I've ever watched as a Milan fan, to be completely honest, in all aspects of the pitch. When the management, with the players, with the product that's even being produced on the pitch as well, it's just simply not good enough. And by the end of the season, we are hoping that there is many changes to be in this club. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. Let me know what you guys think about the whole situation with the Curva Suds, with the kind of 2 back-to-back losses that we've been facing. So guys, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Sorry for kind of ghosting these last couple of days with no videos and whatnot, but guys, I've been busy with my local club and it's been so fun making content with them, and kind of just the vibes around the city have been so good. Been so checked out of Milan. I don't want any of this toxicity to follow and to kind of catch on San Diego FC. So guys, if you want to check out what I'm doing over there, make sure you guys check us out on Instagram at SDFC Bros. And also make sure you guys stay tuned for more. And make sure you guys follow us at Home of Milan on all socials. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be Vincenzo. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao ragazzi.